What's up,
We
boys?
finally got everyone together.
Zach.
Dude,
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
just got
man.
off my computer at work.
No, you know what it is? I have on my phone like the time, like time sensitivity, meaning like if I use so many hours or minutes of social media, I can't log on to the app. So the Signal app gets like
Is that
blacked
for your
out.
incognito mode?
Yeah.
Now there's no time limit on that one. But the Signal app will actually stop sending me notifications after I've been on like Instagram after 20 minutes, so I never see your guys' messages.
I feel like that's an easy excuse for you to have. All right. Well, it doesn't matter. We're all here now, so should we talk some sports?
Let's do it.
All right. I think Zach should lead off here since he's got a little experience in the ring.
With it.
Yeah. So those Avs found a way.
Yeah.
You know, we were the preseason favorites, regular season favorites, playoff favorites, and we lived up to the hype. We dethroned the legacy that could have been with Tampa Bay going for their three-peat. We probably have the best player on the planet in Cale Makar. Nate the Great right behind him, but probably the best captain in the NHL with Gabe Landeskog kind of being that emotional leader the whole way. Great all-around team.
They tried to lose it.
When I was asking you to tell a little bit, though, you were actually there.
Yeah, that game was electric. Gotta go game 2. We won 7-0.
That was probably the best one to be at, yeah.
What a crowd. I thought I could run through a wall.
Did you?
I tried.
Turns out it was concrete.
You know, I don't doubt that. This is the same kid who tried to push a truck.
Hey.
He was pulling it with the rope in his teeth.
There's a little dog in us all. But yeah, when we sang all the small things, we just kept that thing going. The whole song, everyone was singing it.
That's like one of my favorite moments of like watching the Avs in the third period is they just get that going.
I will say, I actually put money on them to lose Game 3 after that Game 2 win.
Just a safe bet.
Yep, because they had way too much adrenaline and emotion from that game to win.
Yeah, plus you're shifting to an away game.
Yeah.
And all kudos to Tampa Bay too. You know, they bounced back. They were they were a good team. They stayed composed. A lesser team would just dwindled after they were down 2-0. So they gave us a good run.
So the Lightning couldn't go 3-0. Can the Avs go 2 back-to-back?
Yes.
We got some key pieces we got to sign, but they could do it. The core is still tight.
Yeah.
I mean, the West is a little weak. You know, Calgary's up there. Edmonton's just getting better.
Edmonton is who you're going to have to watch out for.
They don't got money for anyone else, though. They're paying Connor McDavid a $15 million a year. But they got 2 players.
When the one player is Connor McDavid, that's all you need.
He's probably the best hockey player.
He's the best hockey player.
But hey,
that was a fun matchup in the semifinals there too.
We swept them, didn't we?
Yeah. With Lekkonen's overtime winner.
Yep.
Same guy who got the game-winning Stanley Cup goal. So.
Yeah. I made a killing off of betting in that whole series. I guess not even the whole series, the whole playoffs. It was nice.
Big bets.
I don't think I've made any money besides March Madness and this NHL playoffs betting, but I've done a great job in both of these. For the hockey, I was betting on first goal scorer every game. It's kind of nice because you can pick like 5 guys or so. It pays out so much it'll cancel out if you hit one. So I think I hit probably like 4 or 5 of those in back-to-back games. And that was really fun. Then I started going for final score after 60 minutes. that one's quite a bit tougher. Didn't win that one a single time.
Mm.
It's hard because you look at the over/under, it says 6, so you think that score is going to be somewhat
right
added up
there.
to 6, yeah. So you try to pick those numbers. I was picking like 4 to 2 halves, but nothing.
I haven't gotten into sports betting yet.
Yeah,
I don't know that
really
I
good
will.
idea.
Either. Yeah.
Till we start reading some ads for FanDuel.
So when we were at the game right before we were there, I told Johnny, who I was with, I was like, "Hey man, we got to put $100 on Manson anytime goal. You just got to do. I got to film. That would have paid out like $3,000 because he hit it in the second, I believe. Maybe it was in the first, but he got the goal.
I think it's in the first.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, what do you know now?
What was the environment like down there? Game 2 of the Stanley.
It was pretty cool. We got to walk down center ice, watch the warm ups, hung around by the tunnel to actually watch the players come out. Everyone was locked in. Frankie, the backup goalie, came out, kind of looked at us. We tried to wave. Guy saw right through us. Like everyone was just locked in.
Yeah. How did you end up getting those seats or that spot or being able to stand in the aisle there?
Yeah, we just we were getting at the concessions. I walked down. There was no usher there, nothing. So I'm like, hey, let's just walk down and see what happens. And so we're sitting there, and we were actually in like Frank Diazar's like seats.
Uh-huh.
And so, but he didn't show
You got
up
strong
until
armed out of there.
yeah, he showed us the strong arm and moved us real quick. But they didn't show up until like way later. So by the time they were kicking us out, players already came off the ice from warm ups, and it was about time to go find our seats anyway.
Yeah.
When did you decide that you was going? Was this last second thing, or
It was last minute. So I had the trip planned already to go to Denver that weekend and hang out with them. Plane tickets were already booked, hotels were already booked.
it just happened?
And we were joking around like, if the Stanley Cup's there, we got to go. And then it all depended on Lightning Rangers that series. So if the Rangers would have pushed to Game 7, I would not have been able to go to the game just based on the way the timing was. But since the Tampa Bay won, we won Game 7. I got a phone call saying, "Hey, we doing this?" We looked at tickets; they weren't half bad, so we said, "Let's do it."
Man, that's destiny. That's why they won.
I think so, man.
Not to
You
mention your
boys.
beers.
Yep, I've been drinking Avalanche beers this whole time. Shout out Breckenridge Brewery for keeping me hydrated during this playoff period.
I got
And that's a tough task.
Yep. It takes a lot for the Avs to win. I'll tell you that. I was hoping it wouldn't take 6, but sometimes it took 8.
4 of those were after the third period.
Yeah, I was like asleep and woke up and I was like, but they're playing again the next day. So
I need to rant a little bit about Ball Arena, or I guess now the Pepsi Center.
No,
Or
it's
the
Ball
old,
Arena.
old Pepsi Center, now Ball Arena. All Coors draft sold out. They didn't have one keg, one tap.
run out of
with
draft
Coors.
beer.
How do you run out of what's made in your backyard?
Yeah,
That's what I'm
seriously,
saying.
just call up a truck. You can have it there in a day.
We went to 3 different concessions and we couldn't get Coors draft. All they had
Which-
was Coors Light in the bottle.
Oh,
So is that what you ended up getting?
We ended up drinking Pink Whitney from
Pink
Barstool
Whitney?
Sports, Spit and
Is that-
Chicklets.
That sounds like some kind of weird drug. He's not
Hey.
denying it.
It led us to the promised land, man.
Yeah.
It was a good time. I said the feeling I had there and the feeling I felt after we won the Stanley Cup, I hope everyone gets to experience that feeling in whatever aspect in their life that brings them that much joy.
Let's pull up a picture to make it look cooler. We're still figuring out how this is going to work, so episode 1,
So, Jake,
What's up?
how's the city been since they won?
Boy, it has been just wild. And there's a lot going on besides that. But I remember when I went out after the Avs had just won, I was standing outside on my deck in the backyard, and you could just hear fireworks in every direction around you, and that was a cool feeling because it really did feel like the 4th of July, and that everyone was celebrating the same thing, and it just kind of felt good, I guess.
Other good thing, we might get a 4th of July this year.
No firework ban?
No firework ban. We've been getting moisture like you would not believe.
Good for you guys, man.
I don't think that's going to be true here. So,
Oh, really?
yeah, it's a little rough here.
Oh, weird. Green as hell.
Oh yeah, no more
yeah.
coal.
Whoa. We don't go that. We don't float that green way.
We'll just bleep that out real quick.
Yeah, make a couple sensors there.
I know I'm drinking a pink drink, but it don't mean that I'm. It's soy boy.
Soy boy.
I don't know. That cup size begs to differ.
I like them big. What can I say?
Yeah, dude. Your
Me and
dad
my
know
girl, we go shopping together.
Yeah. It's her drink. I'm just finishing it, you know.
Your dad know you drink at Starbucks?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
All right.
You got him drinking Starbucks?
No.
Yeah.
He still own you?
Yep.
That's good.
All right, guys, let's move on to fantasy draft here. Keeping with sports a little bit.
So
every year, I guess just as a little bit of background here, we run a fantasy league with I guess typically 10 guys. Most of us went to college together, and everyone else we know personally. But it's basically our biggest goal in life to win that championship every year and just rub that in everyone else's face. And I'll be the first to say that I've won 2 of those championships.
you'll be the
and
first
nobody else
and
has.
only.
So we were going to talk about how we're going to plan that out a little bit this year, because every year we do a draft and a draft trip. It's pretty fun and gets our league pumped up.
So it started with we do pre-draft night shenanigans. Zach's a rap master from way back.
He's the MC.
As soon as we graduated college, we started making trips for the draft. So we'd go to Moab. We've been to Austin, Texas. We've been to Denver,
Glenwood.
It's been a fun time. First year COVID hit, every place was shut down, so obviously that made it a little difficult to do that. And ever since, it's kind of been tough to get the whole crew together. This year, I mean, we're all busy men. It's not looking like we're going to be able to get together for the actual draft, but we're still going to try to plan on a draft trip potentially in like October. I don't know if that's looking all right to you, Zach. Me and Jake were kind of talking about that earlier.
No, October's good with me.
Yeah.
Any idea where we want to
go? Not necessarily. With it being October, we'll probably try to stick somewhere not north.
I heard there's some really good deals in Ukraine right now.
Oh, sick. Let's do that. Or Hong Kong.
We can be freedom fighters.
They pay you to go over there.
Yeah.
Do they really?
They might.
You get health insurance too?
So that's where we're standing here.
What is that?
Was that you?
That was not me.
That wasn't me.
I don't know what the hell that was.
I heard it though.
Sounded like a car drove by.
You know, there was a motorcycle that drove up by my house that could have been.
That was totally you.
He's got noise canceling headphones on. He can't even hear his own room.
No. That's where we stand there.
So I'm just going to go ahead and make the pitch. Let's do an all-inclusive resort, Cancun.
I mean, you're not going to get me to say no to the all-inclusive resort. So
4 days.
You're not going to get me to say no either. But there's a caveat with, the COVID shit, whether they're going to allow me to go or not.
And a little more insight. We're kind of the core group of your fantasy league.
I'm
We're
just
the
a
ones that
boy.
go everywhere. So
Yeah.
it's really not us that you need to worry about.
Johnny will go wherever we go.
Yeah. He started a new job Monday.
Oh, yeah?
Same company, just moved back to the warehouse. So he went
Put him in the back.
He went from being a salesman to the warehouse manager, which, in my opinion, the salesman should make more, but apparently that wasn't the case where he's working now. So,
Hey,
company just lost their best salesman. But
hopefully keeps him a little more busy so I can get some better trades out of him.
now he's going to be sitting at his desk the whole time. He's going to put the grindstone to us this year.
Not going to help, though. Still won't help.
Yeah. Well, did he make playoffs last year? I think he did.
Does he ever?
So he's due for last place next year.
Mm-hmm.
It goes every other year for him, right?
Yep.
Who won our league this last year?
Cullen.
Don't even talk about it, man.
Yeah.
Can we just edit that section out, Jake?
We're definitely not going to let his name appear on this podcast.
All right, cool.
So we've got a Blaine, a Zach, a Mason, a Cullen, a Bubba, and 2 Jakes. Right?
It's so disappointing to hear that, besides my name.
We also have 2 Jakes in the league, so maybe one year is going to be the other Jake.
Yeah.
We need to get him on the pod.
Yeah. But we should discuss tenure as well.
Was that 2 years?
This is year 8. So next year will be year 9, then tenure.
Nashville,
Vegas.
I think 9 should be Nashville. I think 10 should be Vegas. And you guys, you hate the idea of New Orleans, so I don't know.
I just don't want to get murdered. I mean,
dude,
that's part of the fun.
All I'm gonna say is all my older patients who are from New Orleans, I tell them I want to go there. He's like, "Don't go right now." That's all they say.
Yeah.
So maybe
but they say that year round.
No, they say wait for hurricane season.
I thought hurricane season was over.
So whenever they start telling me, yeah, go to New Orleans, that's when I'll go to New Orleans. Until then, I'm all right where I'm at.
So you're going to trust the natives there. You won't listen to me. Dude, we're
Correct.
going for like a week. We're not living there.
I just think there's other places to explore first.
Like,
I still want to go back to Maine.
We can go Maine. We can do Boston.
Dude, Maine would be a fun trip.
Nashville.
Not
No Boston.
No.
You care to shed some insight on why you don't like Boston?
They won't let me back in the bar in Boston.
That's the oldest bar in America too, man.
I ruined it.
And you
got kicked out, the oldest one?
Not per se. They're just not allowed. They're just not allowing me back.
Ah, I see.
One of those
new management.
One of those things where they wouldn't notice until it was
too late.
Gone? Yeah. So they didn't kick me out.
They just won't be pleased with him coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
your
face
picture's still on the wall.
Yeah, exactly.
That's good stuff.
Well, we just won't go to that bar. There's other bars in Boston.
Yeah. Cheers,
I think we should go back to that one.
Cheers.
No.
We'll all walk in and they'll be like, this guy's not with us.
They hand you one of those little S rings or S pipes. They're like, is this yours, sir?
Nope.
It's
the oldest bar in America. Their plumbing sucks.
You guys care if we shut down here for a second? I got to go to the bathroom real quick.
Oh my god!
I know. All right. It was pretty good. I don't know if you guys know this, but the Rockies are losing 1-0 right now, also against the Dodgers.
Oh, they're doing pretty good.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, hanging in there.
Yeah.
Dude, last night was great.
I was
Complete
gonna
game
say
shutout.
talk shit, but then we threw a 3-hitter shutout last night.
Yeah, Chad Cool's the man.
So, are we recording?
Of course we are.
Well, so we might as well talk about the Rockies.
Oh boy. Did you see that transition he tried to do?
What about the Rockies? What heartbreak are you going to bring me?
I got no heartbreak. I want to talk about
Nolan
What?
Arenado.
what the hell are they going to do at the trade deadline?
Nothing.
Nothing,
I think that's the right answer.
That's
Maybe
correct
sell the
answer.
team?
What should they do?
Dude, Chris Bryant's like back for his first game the other day. He's still yet to hit a home run in a Rockies jersey, and he's the guy that we're paying to replace Nolan.
It's understandable when he's only played 25 games though.
Yeah, he has like a history of injuries and everything, but we still didn't care when we made him that offer.
Still worth it. It'll work out.
I think it will too. It's just been a shaky start as well.
All right, let me define it'll work out. What do we need? What do we need to see from Chris Bryant? What do we need to see from the Rockies for you to say it'll work out? Do we need to go to the NLCS? Because that's what Nolan did with us.
If we were to win a single division, that'd be a victory.
Even
Dude,
a
we
wild
ain't
card.
touching our division.
Huh?
We ain't gonna win our division.
Not this year. I mean, within Chris Bryant's contract, that would be it working out.
That's a long time though.
We're gonna need a long time.
Dude,
Yeah, but that's what we thought when we were rebuilding, and now we're rebuilding. We're still rebuilding.
have we ever not been rebuilding?
Our team should just be renamed the Rebuilders.
So honestly, we've been so terrible at selling our players off for assets.
Yeah, which is crazy because we're always kind of looked at as a farm team.
Well, and we have good players and we have terrible records, so why on earth are we not Jose Iglesias? He's hitting well over 300. He's been great for us, and I love it. He's good defensively on shortstop, but you could sell him for some prospects.
Yeah, for sure. He's the highest voted for player on the Rockies for the All-Star game so far.
Even over Crone?
Yes.
Well, there you go.
Crone is, I think, like 8th or 9th for first base in the National League. I don't think he's going to make it.
But see, there's 3 guys that I would be looking at dealing.
Well, it's going to be Goldie.
CJ Crone, Jose Iglesias, Chad Cool. Those are 3 guys you're not looking at as part of your future. Right?
Sell high with Chad Cool, man. Sell high.
Chad Cool's
we got him for cheap.
Yeah. If you got a serviceable bench bat for the next 10 years out of that, you'd be happy, I would think.
What happened to Blackman being the DH?
They talk about some mumbo jumbo about if he's not playing in the field, he doesn't feel like he's a full-time player, and that's affecting his ability to play. And
this is one of the problems with baseball, I think. Like, one of the larger problems is they're just so caught in tradition. It's like they're afraid to move on and do new stuff. It's the same stuff you saw with, like, Tatis trying to break the unwritten rules. It's like, let's be done with that stuff. Like, this could be whatever we want it to be. Like, why are we holding on to all this stuff that we've done for 100 years?
And why is it okay that when a pitcher gets a big-time strikeout, he celebrates, he yells, he screams, but if a guy watches the home run for a minute while he's still in the batter box, next time he's up, we're drilling him.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. It's okay for the pitcher to be excited, but not the hitter?
You guys saw that fight I sent on the chat the other day. The Angels and the Mariners.
Yeah, and that was due to Mike Trout.
Yeah, that one goes back a few games, so it's crazy. They don't forget in baseball.
No,
I guess not.
And the Angels threw out a opener just so he could drill some Seattle Mariners players.
Yeah, as soon as he came in, I was like, "Yep, they're doing this on purpose."
No, my favorite's always when you see the bullpen start running in.
Mm-hmm.
They're like,
way late.
I ran all this way. I'm going to throw at least one punch, you know?
fight each other on the run out there either. They're all friendly until they get there.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that. They just run in a line right next to each other, and then they get
the
there.
bullpens are right next to each other. They could just hop over the wall.
Well, they got to watch from out there. They got to make sure something's going on before leaving the bullpen.
Coach is like, hurry up, we got to get in here and throw some punches.
They're always late to the action.
So on the topic of fighting in sports, what do you guys think is the most like softest sport? Like if you're to pair like, what sport has the softest?
Are we
major sports? Major.
Okay, I was gonna say, are we talking major, the power sports? So you got football,
baseball, basketball, hockey, soccer.
We talking which league has the softest players, or which sport is the softest sport?
Sport softest overall. And I'm not saying like who would win in a fight, LeBron James versus some like second baseman who's like 5'0" just overall big pictures.
I think the sport that has the softest players is soccer.
Ooh, hot take.
I think that the softest sport is baseball.
Okay.
Because you see some guys playing baseball and you're like, dude, that looks like my Uncle Vinny down the street who's grilling hamburgers and drinking beer every day after work.
Dude, but then you see some swings. Yeah. You see some absolute steaks playing on that field too.
Yeah.
Like those guys aren't all natural. We know this.
But then, as a man, they're not soft. So I would say soccer players are the softest players.
To your baseball argument, they're only big because it's not a cardio sport, right?
Right, but like there's no real physical contact. That's why I say it's the softest sport, because there's not much behind having to be.
Jake, you care to give us any input on who you think is the softest?
It's really hard for me to decide too. I think Mason probably does have it right, though. I think baseball and soccer are probably the two softer of those sports. I think you could maybe add basketball on there too.
If I was to add basketball, it would be they'd be fighting for the softest players, but probably not the softest sport.
Right.
Because I think basketball and soccer is full of a bunch of guys. Yeah, they'd rather get a call than actually like do something productive.
Right.
All right. So can we agree? Baseball softest sport. Basketball has the softest players, and then soccer is just the most dramatic.
If there was a soft version of baseball, wouldn't it be called softball?
No. Actually, I think UFC's probably got the soft. No, I'm just kidding.
It's just punches to the face, man.
Yeah, punches and knees to the face.
Yeah, they're wearing gloves. How hard can it be?
Yeah.
Man, UFC is a sport I don't know anything about, so that's all on you guys here. I watch from time to time, but I don't know much about it.
Big fight card coming up this Saturday.
Who is it?
Israel Adesanya defends his title against Jared Cannonier, and then you would get Mason's boy Volkanovski going Max Holloway number 3.
Is that this weekend?
It's this weekend. I think it's a little redundant. Holloway's beat him 2 times already.
Holloway's beat him no times?
Oh, sorry. Volkanovski's beat Holloway twice.
I was going to say, how dare you talk about Volkanovski like that?
Don't really know why we're getting a third, but
just because the man's just, there's nobody to compete with him in that division.
He needs to move up a weight class, fight at lightweight, go for double champ status.
So, speaking of someone outside of the sport, how does that all work? I know weight classes and stuff, that's pretty clear since it's just how much you weigh. But moving up and down divisions, like how do you know it's time? I got to take on this other guy in a different division, otherwise people don't take me seriously.
Well, so I think we saw it with Israel Adesanya. He was just toying with the guys in his weight division. So he moved up, but at his weight division, that's a pretty drastic move. What is that?
20 pounds.
20 pounds. and
Mhm.
he didn't end up bulking up for that. He just went into the fight with what he usually is, and you saw what happened was the guy just was too heavy for
He's
him.
just big, too big. Yeah, too
He's
big.
just too big for him.
I think it's more common in the lighter weights because you got like
Mhm.
145, 155, 135. You can bounce around all those weights with, plus or minus 10 pounds.
So
So
do you
it's
have more of
easier.
an advantage if you're in that kind of weight class because you can probably fight in more classes?
Mm. I
No,
think, no, I think once you find your home, what you feel good cutting weight to, where you fight your best at, that's where you stay. We have seen with like some older fighters who can't compete at like the 155 level, they try to lose a little bit of weight and try to fight a weight class below hand. Maybe because the competition may not be as big, or they might think they have a shot.
I guess you could say it might be an advantage because I know a lot of times, like when the people talk about who's the greatest fighter of all time, they're a lot of times looking at, well, he's a 2 division champ or he's
Mhm.
this. So to be able to be the champion of 2 divisions, I think might give you the edge when it comes to legacy, but that doesn't really do it for me.
All right, I got another question for you then. Can one fighter have two belts?
Mhm.
Yep.
So then how can they defend their championship if they're in a different weight class?
You
Whoever's
have.
fighting them.
Mhm. So
So
I think the best example is Amanda Nunes because she held both belts for God, it seems like forever now. But she recently just lost, so she only has one belt now. But she would just flip back and forth weight class. Whoever the UFC wanted her to fight, she'd basically step up and fight her. The big thing with the UFC, as long as you're staying like active, I mean, you fight, I don't know, once, twice a year in that weight class. I'm pretty happy with it. There's some champs like Oliveira. He's fighting like every weekend, it seems like. And then
Volk.
Volk. And then there's
And
other
then you got
champs like Francis
Ngannou.
Ngannou. I know he had
He's
his
won,
injuries, but it's been a little
he's
while since I've seen him in the octagon.
since he's won the belt, they've had to do 2 interim title
I
fights
think just
because,
one.
well, they've done one and then they're coming up with the second. I thought
I know
because he's
John Jones Stipe's in the works.
for the interim championship.
I don't know if it's for the interim or not. But yeah, I don't even know. But it just depends what they define as active. And yeah, but I think it was Daniel Cormier had two belts that he had to defend multiple times. McGregor, he actually got his belt stripped because he wasn't active enough,
In
and
the
that's
other
what.
division.
Mhm.
so say you're like maybe like a heavyweight or whatever, and you're also have a belt for a weight class under that. So someone challenges you, and then you have to drop the weight to fight them. Is that how that works?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you're a heavyweight, you got that, and you have the light heavyweight belt also, and a light heavyweight challenges you at the light heavyweight weight, you can only lose that belt.
Mhm.
Okay.
And if you fight a heavyweight for a heavyweight, you can only lose that belt. I don't know if there's ever a situation where you could lose
Get both.
both.
I don't think so.
You
I'm
think
like
they'll ever do a BMF too?
Nah, I think that was a one and done. I think Masvidal's lost some of his celebrity
I
status.
agree.
It
If
was
they
right
didn't,
after
if
Askren,
they
wasn't it?
somewhat, yeah.
He had the knee against Askren, and then he beat Nate Diaz pretty soon afterwards. And since then, he's lost twice to Usman.
I
He
know.
just lost to Colby Covington.
And it's not even like
He just got an assault charge against
challenges.
Colby Covington.
He hasn't even challenged in any of his recent fights, really.
So you guys look at it like a guy that doesn't challenge any of his fights or like isn't going for championships is kind of just a guy that's
Well,
there. He's not trying to win anything, right? It's harder because it's not a team sport like football or something, right? It's just this one guy. I mean, I guess he has his team in the corner and they're
oh,
telling him what to do, but I just mean I,
oh,
I don't know. Does that make sense?
yeah, I get what you're saying, but a lot of it has to do with the matchmakers because so for light heavyweight, you're probably only seeing 2, if you're lucky, 3 title fights a year.
Mm-hmm.
So you're only getting 2 or 3 um, competitors
Chances.
coming up to try to take that belt. So But you still got to be active in that division. So, not always are you going to be able to fight for belts. But the more of the problem I had with him was, in those fights, he wasn't competitive. I never thought he had a chance during the fight in any of the three.
No, I mean, if you watch like Usman fight if you like him, dislike him, whatever it is, Colby Covington is competitive. Is competitive. Yeah. I think Usman won pretty convincingly both times, but it's a lot closer than if you watch Usman versus Masvidal, Usman versus Woodley, Usman versus anyone else he's fought. He's really making a statement at who's the GOAT of that weight class.
And I don't know, part of me thinks about Dustin Poirier and thinks maybe he's not so much trying for a belt. He's more trying for the big name fights, which will make him money, which I have nothing against, because at the end of the day, you're getting your face beat in every time you go out there. So you better be making your money.
You didn't take McGregor twice if you're looking for a belt. You're looking for that paycheck.
So who are you guys looking at this week then for that matchup?
If I'm a betting man, I'd put money on Israel
Adesanya. The underdog.
Let's ideally say you are a betting man.
If I'm a betting man, I parlay the underdog in the top 3 fights.
See, there's something weird that I haven't watched many fights, but there's something weird that happens when I have watched on pay-per-view. It's when that guy's coming out of the tunnel and he's kind of just throwing punches in the air, getting hyped up. It's like in that moment, you can almost tell if this guy is confident enough or if he's too nervous that he's going to lose in that ring. But by the time that both of those guys get in the ring, it's like, well, you can tell this guy has a little bit of an edge because he's more confident. He's not nervous out there. He's not making as many mistakes. So that's always what I've done when I've been betting on UFC.
The only contradiction of that is when Rose Namajunas beat Zhang Wei Li. When she was walking down, she kept saying, "I'm the best. I'm the best. I'm the best." And in my opinion, I was thinking while she was doing her walkout, I was thinking, wow, she is very unconfident in herself that she's going to have to keep telling herself that. And she was, I don't know, she just seemed off. And then, bam, leg kick to the head, fight over. She won it.
To counter that,
it's not even so much. Oh,
what's
go ahead, Zach.
What if you got a dude walking down the stage and he's like, "I'm the baddest motherfucker. I'm the baddest. I'm the baddest."
Right. So, but you see
are
how
you thinking that he's scared, or is he just hyping him up?
See, I think a lot of times people are trying to get in the other person's head, so they'll do anything to get in the other person's head.
I think that's too big of a part of the UFC is they're trying to play mind games, and I think it messes them up more often than it messes the other player up.
Well, I think it's McGregor versus Khabib. Too,
when McGregor attacked the bus, was he trying to intimidate Khabib? That you weren't going to intimidate Khabib. The man's a Russian, like.
That guy wrestled bears growing up. No one's scared. He's not scared of no one.
I mean, that bear was pretty friendly, though. We've all seen it.
I want to fight it. I want to fight it.
If I fight it, would you put money on me?
Nah, dude, I'm going all bear. Bear v. Jake.
All bear. Let's see if we can get that on pay-per-view. It'd be like semi-pro where he fights the bear in the basketball arena.
What are you putting the odds at for Cannonier to beat Adesanya?
How's he beating him? Knockout or?
I think that's the only way you could beat him, especially with Cannonier's style, right?
Oh no, like plus 1,000.
Yeah, I don't think there's a chance.
Freak. I think underdog. You take the TKO. Adesanya by TKO. I think that's probably the best bet for this fight. I think he gets the tap.
If I was a bet man, I'd probably take Adesanya by decision. He's such a McGregor type fighter,
Good.
Not Conor McGregor. Sorry, he's a Floyd Mayweather type fighter. Defensive.
He's smart.
Hitting you on the
he's smart. And then co-main event: Alex Volkanovski versus Max Holloway. They get the third. Do we see something new?
That could Holloway could do it. I don't think he will because I don't think there's honestly Volkanovski's my number 2 pound for pound right now.
Next to Usman.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
Look at this freaking guy.
Yeah, dude.
You tell me
really
you
think
wrestled
you
that?
could beat that guy?
That's a friendly bear.
No, Khabib makes him look friendly.
Yeah.
Dude, Khabib makes everyone look friendly.
I like how they're comparing this to like the stuff he's done in the ring. Like it's the
like
same.
it's at all similar.
Yeah. One's a wild animal.
He's trying to bite. I've never seen a fighter trying to bite.
Yeah. Give me your ear.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson, baby.
All right.
Yeah.
Islam
Like Tyson's going
Makhachev,
through a
Zach.
weird thing.
Islam's second coming, man.
I don't see it.
I know everyone's like, he hasn't fought big competition. You know, he beat Drew Dober. He beat a broken Dana Hooker. But, man, I think that guy's real. I think him and Oliveira is the fight I want to see. It's probably the only person that stands a chance against Oliveira on the ground.
I don't know. On the ground, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
Oliveira's a
let's
British
not
guy.
forget, Oliveira
He's
damn near
Brazilian.
got
Brazilian.
near got
I must have got the wrong
KO'd.
guy in my head. I need to start watching this sport more so I can keep up with you guys.
We'll do like a fight companion one weekend on him.
Dude, that'd be pretty sick. I need you guys to like explain stuff though while it's happening. I need you to go full Joe Rogan on me.
Jesus.
I'll do what I can, man. I'll do what I can.
I like my hair. Sorry.
I'll shave it.
Zach will do the DMT. You shave your hair, and I will be the little nerd guy that sits in the background making noises.
What kind of noises you making in the background?
Does Joe Rogan make nerd noises in the background? I'm not following.
No. What's the guy that does the computer shit for him?
Jamie.
Oh, Jamie.
Jamie. Yeah.
And Jamie.
Jamie Vernon.
Yeah, guys, so this is what I found on looking it up.
Oh, dude, I like that. I like that.
You just like it because you get to do the DMT.
Congratulations, you found this technology. So, Jake, I hear you have some pretty unpleasant neighbors. You want to go further more on that?
I was kind of hoping Mason would lead off this story with a story where I was actually there in college there. He's got to take a minute to wind up for this one.
I don't know what I did in my previous life, but I know I'm destined to have the strangest damn neighbors. No matter where I go, they just follow. I'll move into a nice neighborhood, great neighbors. Within a month, bam, bam, both sides of me, creeps. It all started when we was in
they
college.
Turn into creeps from living next to you?
No, they'll move, and creeps will buy the house. Maybe I'm the problem.
That's what I was saying.
Start looking inward, man. Start looking inward.
Well, anyways, the story Jake's talking about was in junior year of college. We were living in this apartment. And it's what would you call that, Jake? Like an 8-plex per building, 4 houses up top, 4 houses down low.
Yeah, I mean, there
one
were
building.
condos, but we were renting them in college, so there's
Yeah.
kind of like apartments.
But they're only 2 high. They're only 2 stories high.
Right. And they must have had just absolutely the thinnest floors and walls that you could have ever had.
Terrible.
I know you're about to tell this story, but I kind of had similar things happen to me, and I lived across the street, so.
But your similar things was hearing your roommate do weird stuff.
Well, that. Shout out to Blaine. You got to have him on the pod sometime, too.
First league champ. Thanks, Zach.
I think I'll miss that week, guys.
Yeah. If we need a fill-in, we'll get Mason's sister here, and then we'll get Blaine.
Yeah. So
we could
going
do
back to that story, and Taylor, she was drinking wine. This was when she was drinking stuff, so she got all drunk. We got all drunk. We're playing in the living room, cards or something, and like Jake said, it must
That's the same period of time where we were like into Call of Duty Zombies.
Yeah, but that's not what we were doing, is it?
I don't think so. I think it was just you. I don't think Miguel was over there or anything. I think it was just you and Taylor.
Yeah, and you. There had to have been another person too. Maybe Blaine. I don't know.
Blaine
But-
came over at one point.
Yeah. We're having a good time. And we're not even being loud, like at all. But like Jake said, the floors are made of sheets. So this lady comes up and she's thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna show them a piece of my mind." She slams on the door. So my sister's like, "Oh, this chick wants to go this route." So she starts heading down the stairs, and as soon as she opens that door, that lady's like 20 feet away. Like, she must have known something was happening because she hit the
knocked
door
and
and
ran.
started leaving. And choice words were said.
Mhm.
Needless to say, that lady never interacted with us again. Thanks to my sister, who now would hate that I just told the world this story.
Now,
We're gonna clip
did the
this and
neighbor
send
ever
it to
move
her.
away afterwards?
What's that?
Did she move away afterwards, or did she kind of stay around there?
No, I'm pretty sure she stayed. To tell you how bad these floors were, she had a kid who would flick the doorstop.
Huh?
You know how it's, and for like 20 minutes you just hear so she stayed because I remember hearing that for a long time trying to go to bed.
Dude, I'd be mad too if I had to deal with that. Whoa, 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 every night.
Yeah, she was just pushed up to the brink.
Oh my god.
So was it just her living there? There was no.
Oh no, it was a family. She had a
There's a
husband.
son there too.
Yeah, they had kids.
I don't know. I would just always sit outside Mason's door and play with the little door stop thing.
Yeah. Oh god.
It was
about
good times over there.
What about your shitty neighbor? You got one now or what?
No, well, I mean, I always do. But back then, just to keep with that same timeline, we lived pretty much right across the street from you. Except as soon as we walked into our apartment and went upstairs. So I've talked to the lady a few times that lived below us, and she was like, "You need to stop slamming your door. Our pictures are falling off the walls." And I was like, "I promise you, I am not slamming the door." It's like, there's no reason I would do that. I would try to make you mad or knock your pictures off the wall. So she did that enough times where it became a problem, and we did have to deal with police a couple times. But it was like, yeah. And there was another time, you remember Matt from college. Matt, I should probably bleep his last name. Don't want to dox him here.
Didn't he work at the mortuary?
Yep, that's the guy.
Oh yeah, I remember him.
Well, now that the identifiers are out.
Yeah, we basically told you every part of his life, so you can track him down. But yeah, he was over one time, and we were listening to like Ballroom Blitz up in my living room, and the lady came, and she's pounding on the door, and I walk down there. She's like, "Can you please turn that music down?" And I open, like, I'm down there, like, I can hear the music. It's like a normal level. She can hear it's a normal level. I think she's like surprised it's not a lot louder. But man, she went off on us, and I was like, I'm sorry. Like, I don't mean to be interrupting anything. I understand that it sucks to be like the downstairs neighbor in an apartment or condo.
But I'm also not going to be a choir boy for my entire time.
Well, I mean, I thought I was totally being like respectful. I wasn't like purposely being loud or anything or stomping. I didn't do any of that stuff. So I don't know. It's just part of being neighbors, especially in a condo apartment. So,
Mm-hmm. And just to be clear, these are two different ladies.
Yes,
they could have been the same. There's no way of confirming.
I mean, we do live in a simulation, so
It's true.
Could have been the same person.
It's
we're
just another
50
NPC
minutes
you're
into this
supposed to meet.
podcast, and we haven't even explained the name yet.
So, for those of you just tuning in, I'm a believer that we live in the simulation theory. you know, and the reason I came around this is I've just interacted with so many like duds as human beings. Like no personalities, they don't really add anything to this world. They're just kind of there. And it's like, what do you do with the rest of your day other than just have awkward interactions with myself?
What
So I think
what what purpose do you have other than just being around me? That's basically what you're
dude,
saying.
so that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking someone is playing me as their character and they're just bumping me into NPCs.
So the movie Inception, where like his consciousness like populates all the people around him, is that kind of what you're talking about?
Oh man, I haven't seen that movie in forever, but yeah, we'll go with that.
If somebody's playing me, I'm real pissed because they could have upgraded some attributes that I would be very pleased about.
You are upgraded, bro.
Yeah. If this is what they chose to play as, Jesus, I feel bad for their real life.
You guys ever have, like,
So anyway, just look around, look around. You'll start seeing some people that probably just don't like belong there, and you too will probably believe in the
is
simulation.
it just people? It's not
No.
like objects or anything.
It's objects. So I'm not a believer in this,
Okay.
but I am for the purpose of the concept. Me and Hannah watched a local, they do those like renovation stuff. And in Craig, they actually had a pot store that got renovated, and it's a show on Discovery.
And now it's a classy place.
Well, yeah, sure. That's what you call that.
I should have said joint.
Yeah. But so we live in a small town, nothing. You notice when stuff changes. You notice when there's construction going on, or this is happening, or anything that happens in this town. You notice. We're watching this show. It was cast a year ago, and they did all these renovations there. And I said to her, if we drive by that place and it looks like on this show, instead of what I remember it being, it's a simulation. And sure enough, the place is renovated, but before anybody even knew it. So maybe I am a believer now.
All right,
I
Jake, you a
definitely
believer
think
too?
I definitely think there's weird stuff that happens and stuff that I can't explain. But I think the biggest thing that points me in this direction is just every once in a while, stuff just feels like fake. Like it just doesn't feel real. It could be people talking to you. It could be the stuff that you're going through. Like it's just weird. It's like, why is this happening? There's no logical reason for this to be happening.
It would explain deja vu as well.
Mm-hmm. Someone just hit Control V too many times,
So you think the simulation is like a computer simulation?
Dude, I don't know, man. I just think that that's a great question. I don't know if someone's controlling me. I don't know if someone's like there's multiple people controlling everyone. I don't know. I just think that there's some strange things going on. A world full of duds. A world full of like copycats.
I can get on board with the idea that it's more of an experiment than anything.
Yeah, maybe they just like plant one or two things just to see if we pick up on it.
Just to see what happens.
Yep.
Let me put this person in his life at this absolute terrible time just to see what happens.
Let's make Biden fall off a bike. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. Let's elect Biden as president just to see what happens.
Let's get some plane stairs too.
You just never know. So, can you escape the simulation?
Can you escape the simulation?
Can you leave?
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Death.
What I want to know is the simulation random or is it already like predetermined?
Random.
That's my biggest question.
I think it's random, man. I think it's like, what is that game? Grand Theft Auto. You can do whatever you want. It's just random.
That's why I'm going with it as an experiment.
So do you think like your perception is like you are the simulation and everything you perceive is what's coming into the simulation is like parameters, or do you think everyone's experiencing the same simulation?
I think there's like a handful of us that we're like the main characters. And it's definitely not myself. Like if I'm a main character in the video game, that's a shitty video game.
That's what I'm
You got
saying.
You got
Like
a podcast
Steph
now. You're a main
Curry.
character.
As soon
Steph
as soon
Curry's
as,
the main character. Joe Rogan's the main character.
as soon as this podcast ends, Zach just shuts down. Nothing happens. And then when he comes back up, he has this entire story of everything he's been up to. And
See,
Then
that's
where the
when I
hell
couldn't
were
log
you
in.
last Tuesday?
My computer died, man. I was turned off.
Charging up. You were plugged into your
Mhm.
Tesla supercharger.
Now I think there's maybe like 50% of the population are like live characters or woke, for a better term. Then the other 50% is just kind of implants, just to see what happens.
See, and I think it's just a big experiment, and part of the experiment is to put duds, or as I call them, dullards,
Dullards.
just to see how you interact with them, just to see how they interact. I mean,
It's just so much weirdness. I think that any of that stuff could happen. It's the whole thing with the simulation theory is it's a theory because you can't prove it doesn't exist, right?
It's like gravity, man.
I can prove gravity exists though.
You can't prove why it exists.
Mass.
I don't know. I'm not a physicist.
yeah, what does he know? He's just a doctor.
Yeah.
Got his doctorate.
Fake.
Exhibit A.
Exhibit A. Dude, if you had a webcam, maybe you could prove gravity, but until then, I ain't believing a word you say.
I'll see you next week then.
Yeah, but will we see you? That's the question.
That is the question, and you would know if it was a simulation.
I was telling Zach while you were tinkling. I told him, I said, I thought I was supposed to be the illiterate one when it comes to like technology. Zach can't figure out that he can't use his phone. Jake can't figure out how to show his face.
Mason's set up perfectly. He's got all this stuff. He's got a boom mic. He's got a whole studio room with egg cartons on the walls.
He's got that
It's
Denver
gonna be-
Broncos Vikings helmets in the background. He's ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although he clearly likes the Patriots
Go
because of his
Patriots.
shirt.
Yeah.
What does your shirt say, Mason?
It says I want my freedoms back. No,
Okay.
basically.
Basically. All right, I got a story I need to get off my chest. I've been saving it for a while. So, a few weeks ago, Kelsey and I wanted to get ice cream. And the only places were open were like Sonic, Dairy Queen, a couple other places. I was like, I haven't been to Dairy Queen for a while. Let's go there. So we drove out to Dairy Queen. Huge line. You couldn't walk in the door. Not the nicest area in the town. So we decided to let's go elsewhere. We'll go to Sonic. It's a little closer to the house. So we get to Sonic. Whole thing is a mess from start to finish. Just a complete mess. We get there. The lady just straight up was like, "What do you want?" And we told her, and she's like, "Okay, next window." No price. Nothing was given. We get to the next window. Nothing there. That thing's taped up, blacked out. All right, we'll just go to the following window. We get there. She says the price, and I go to hand her my card. She's like, "Oh, we don't take cards. We can't do that." I'm like, all right. It's 2022. I don't know how many people carry cash. But anyway, we luckily had enough change in the car. We paid, gave it to her. She takes the money, gives us receipt, shuts the window. Okay, that's a little weird. 10 minutes go by. She opens the window, and she's like, "What'd you guys order?" And we told her. She shuts it. She's like, "All right, getting that ready." And 10 minutes go by. She's still making the ice cream, whatnot. Opens it up. She's like, "I think I ordered an Oreo milkshake or something." She's like, "Yeah, we have no Oreo." I'm like, "All right, I just want to get my money back." She's like, "I can't give you a refund. That's not how this works." I'm like, "You got to give me something, you can't just take it." She's like, "Hold on." Closes the window again. Another 10 minutes go by. She opens it up. She's like, "We went to the back. We found the Oreos. Don't worry, you're good." So we
She
get
found
it.
something.
Go home. I ate that whole milkshake. Not a single Oreo.
Dude, I think she was in the back getting her salad tossed.
Yeah. she didn't find any Oreos. She found boy butter.
Yeah,
Something, man. That thing was.
and you ate it.
Oh, shoot. We all gotta try it sometime.
This is a different kind of shake. I haven't had anything like this before.
Oh God.
So that's Houston's finest right there.
Sounds like they got some good Sonics down there.
Mm-hmm. Quality
Yeah.
gym spots.
All right. Well, I think we're gonna wrap up for this episode here. I think this was probably a good start. Episode number 1. I mean, we knew it was going to be weird. We know it's still going to be weird. But hopefully, in a few episodes here, everything's sounding better. And we got my webcam working, and we got Zach drinking booty shakes, and we got Mason.
I'll drink booty shakes.
Let's use that as a drop.
That's the intro.
Isolate that.
You're gonna have way too many of them.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. We can use that to bleep out all the stuff we don't want to say. But yeah, if you guys want to email us anything, you can reach us at cultspod@gmail.com. Don't expect anything since this is week 1, but feel free to hit us up. We're gonna eventually kind of get this more organized and a little better quality.